Hey everyone, welcome to Awesome Life TV. I'm Stephanie Zamora, and today I'm here with my very good friend and one of my favorite people, Nichole Kellerman. Hi, Nichole.
Hi, happy to be here.
Yay, I'm so
Awesome.
excited. Why don't you just take a minute and introduce yourself and let everyone know what it is that you do, where they can find you, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, okay, so my name's Nichole Kellerman, and I am and creator of SuccessfulWeightLossSchool.com, which is a place where women go to stop dieting, reshape their bodies, and feel wildly alive. I am a weight loss and lifestyle coach, so I really teach women the core foundation of weight loss like you've never seen. And it's all about going out and living your life and having more fun. And that does not include meal plans, restrictions, or treadmills. It's all about having more fun and, just like I said, going out and living life to its fullest. Because through my own experience, I realized that lifelong weight loss and true happiness comes from living, not restricting. So that's kind of a little cap.
I love it, love it, love it. Your approach is by far the best thing I've ever seen. So today we're going to talk about an area or a situation in your life where you needed to take personal responsibility, how you did that, what challenges you faced, and what positive effects that had on your life. So do you want to share a little bit of a backstory about that situation?
Yeah, so how I got into this field is an interesting story, and it had a lot to do with taking responsibility of my life. I was never an athlete in high school. I was not taught the importance of fruits and vegetables and taking care of your body. I don't blame my parents. It's just how they were raised, no big deal. But, let's just say that my mom really liked Hamburger Helper, and I didn't struggle with my weight as a child. But when I got out of high school, I gained about 30 pounds, and I was totally lost.
Mm-hmm.
I had absolutely no idea what to do. And what does most women do when they want to lose weight is they diet. That's just what we do, right? That's what we're taught. And so I am very determined. So I tried diet after diet after diet after diet. And all I feel like that did was beat my self-esteem into the ground.
Yeah.
I felt like after every single diet, my self-esteem was lower and lower and lower, because if I lost any weight, it would always come back. I would feel like a loser. I would binge. It became a real terrible cycle. And in that time, I developed an eating disorder, an image disorder, an exercise disorder. I was just totally obsessed with trying to lose the weight. And I saw a commercial for personal training school. And, at that time I was exercising like a freak, because I thought that the only way to lose weight was to exercise like crazy and basically eat nothing.
Right.
And so I saw the commercial, and I remember this day like it was yesterday. And I remember saying to myself, well, I'm in the gym all the time already, so I might as well get paid for it. And so counselor, I set up an appointment that day, and I literally signed up that day. And I threw down $15,000 to lose weight. I really didn't want to be a personal trainer. I just knew that I would lose the weight if I went to personal training school, which sounds really stupid, but it was really a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Because I found my passion. I figured out that I was doing everything wrong. I lost the weight, and I was like, I gotta teach women this, because that dieting stuff sucks and it's not fun. I want to show women how to lose weight the right way without completely starving yourself or spending all your time in the gym.
Right.
And it was great. I started my personal training career and had my own business, was getting my clients results, but I felt like a total fraud. Because even though I was telling my clients that I'm so happy in my new fit body, I would still go home and pick and prod and pinch, and I was still totally obsessed with the numbers and the calories. And I got this bright idea that I'm kind of a curvy girl. I'm a little hipster. So I thought, if I can get all my proportions to match, then I'll have nothing to complain about. I'll be a curvy and everything will match and everything will be fine. And so being super determined, I got the surgery done. And I remember 2 months later, I was going out with a few girlfriends, and all of my clothes were all over my room. And I realized that every single outfit made me look fat. And I dropped to my knees, and I just started crying, and I just was like, I have spent so much money to be thin. But really, I was looking for happiness, right? It was really happy. I was just really unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I was so lost. And at that time, I met the man that I'm dating now. And it's just a total liver. Like, he's in the moment. Let's have fun right now. Very spontaneous, totally different than me. Like, I live my life by my planner and my plans. Like, if I could have planned out my entire life, I probably would. And so I was like, okay, well, this is scary, but let's just do it. Let's just go. And he just really taught me how to go out and live my life and have more fun and lighten up and not be so stuffy and not be so stringent. And what I realized is I dropped any extra weight that I was carrying, and I found a place of deep compassion and love for my body and all it does for me. And it was amazing. And that is how Successful Weight Loss School was developed. Those are the core philosophies of going out and having more fun and enjoying your life and not being restricted to good food, bad food,
Right.
got to gym this day, got to work out this specific way. It's really about having more fun and living your life to its fullest. Because when we can do that, when we get out of our heads and stop thinking so much, your body just does her own thing. We're designed to be slim and fit. That's how we're designed. And you naturally make decisions that are healthy when you're actually out living your life more.
Yeah. So what do you feel like was the biggest turning point for you? I know that it was, meeting your boyfriend and starting to live your life, but was there a point at which you realized things were changing and you started to see that you were taking responsibility for that, or you started to notice the shift in yourself?
I know that when I was personal training, I had already gotten the boob job. I was given a great opportunity to go to Hawaii. And I had never experienced anything like that in my life. And a personal training client actually took me with her. It was such an amazing deal. And I know that trip absolutely changed my life, because I found a part of myself that I never knew existed. I found chill Nichole, which there was no such thing as chill Nichole. I was very driven and obsessive and very stuck in my head and not probably the sweetest, funnest person to hang out with. And I remember this like it was yesterday. It was totally a life-changing experience. My client was remodeling her house, so I was by myself a lot of the time in Kauai, which is totally blissful, totally amazing. And I got a canoe, and I got on the canoe, and I just started going for it. I was just I was like, yeah, I'm gonna burn so many calories and blah blah blah. I was all about yeah. Remember, there was an ending point. There was a stopping point. You could only go so far. And I remember I was about halfway there, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why do you care so much about burning stupid calories? Look where you are. Open your eyes. Smell the flowers. And that moment for me was totally life-changing, because I was like, why? Why am I living my life just for the next step? why am I not here? Why am I not embracing this beauty? I am probably not going to be here for a long time. And you have all this greatness at your fingertips right here in this moment. And you're so obsessed with just the next moment and the next moment. And that was definitely a life-changing experience for me. And things totally shifted in my life after the experience of, I had to stop striving so much for what's next and really just be here now, because this is really where the magic is in this moment.
Yeah.
So definitely the biggest thing that sticks out to me was life-changing was that moment.
Awesome. Yeah. And so it's never easy to make that kind of shift and obviously just go from being so focused and driven on, what's next and planning to just relaxing and living in the now. I mean, did you struggle with it? Was it easy? What kind of happened after that?
Oh, totally. I mean, I remember when I was in Kauai, I was talking to my boyfriend at the time, and I was like, oh, there's just this piece of me. There's just this side of me that I found, and I love her so much, and it's so amazing, and I don't want to go home. I did not want to go home. I mean, I remember I was contemplating staying there. I'm like, okay, how can I figure this out? Really, I want to stay here. I mean, I had all intention. If I could have made it happen, I would have stayed. And I got home, and I started going right back into my old habits. Like my mind was wired for I would schedule myself with my clients where they were back to back to back to back to back to back. And I would never give myself in between, even for a lunch. I would eat in my car. I would answer emails on my phone while I was driving, because I was an in-home trainer, so I drive from house to house to house.
Yeah.
I just started going right back into it. And I remember, 2 weeks probably into it, Diana, my client who took me to Kauai, I called her. I was like, Diana, I want to go back to Kauai. So stressed out. And she looked at me and she's like, Nichole, you cannot run away to Kauai every time you're stressed out. You need to figure out how to find that woman that was in Kauai and bring her to Colorado. And initially I was totally resistant. I'm like, no, it can't happen. It's just not the same. I remember I was just totally a brat about it. And I was like, I can't go to the mountains in Colorado because they're just not the Kauai mountains. And I know it's not the same person that's going to come out. I had to be honest with myself and say, okay, well, I can't run away to Kauai, and I probably can't live there for at least a while. So I am going to have to find that. And that's when I started really turning to exercise outdoors, because I realized there was a piece of just nature. I think nature is just the all-natural chill pill. I just think it chills you out. And so when you are in the state of nature, even if you're not in the mountains, but even just going outside or turning on a beautiful track of, Mother Nature, if it be the rainforest or a waterfall or, whatever that is, something inside of us just naturally relaxes.
Yeah.
And, we're so lucky that we do have such a beautiful scenery when we go out our front door. And a lot of the reason why I decided to move to the mountains was because of this. But I just started really enforcing myself to get outdoors, do things outdoors, and trying to basically rewire my mind so I could let nature kind of do that for me. And that was a huge catalyst to really reconnecting with that side of myself that I found in Kauai, was getting outdoors, connecting with nature, relaxing, chilling out, and trying to kind of relive that. Another thing that I did, I was seeing a therapist at the time. She was like, why don't you print out a big picture of Waimea Canyon? That spot is just, every time I think about Kauai, I get really emotional because it was.
Yeah.
Why don't you make a Kauai corner where you have a cute little bag and you have Kauai and you have little seashells. I did that for a while and had a little meditation spot where I would just sit there and I would look at Kauai and try to just reignite all of those beautiful feelings back into my body, so I could just start becoming that woman
Yeah.
at least 80% of the time, so I wasn't like crazy.
Awesome. And did that work? Did it start to become more natural?
Absolutely, yes. I think that getting outdoors, and I tell my clients this all the time, is like, if the elliptical doesn't excite you, I don't want you on the freaking elliptical, right? If going outdoors and just walking sounds exciting to you and sounds peaceful and sounds like a way that moves your body that doesn't sound like homework, I want you to do more of those things.
Right.
And I think a lot of people, a lot of my clients will say, yeah, I really like to be outdoors. I'm like, okay, well, I got to get you outdoors, because that's a way that you're moving your body, but you're also working with your mind at the same time, and you're relaxing, and it doesn't feel like this, stress.
Right. Awesome. So how did this change kind of show up in other areas of your life?
Well, I attracted a man that I never thought I would be worthy of. I mean, he is everything I could ever dream of, and he pushes me more than anybody ever has, which is so vital for personal growth. Is just like the other weekend, he was like, "Let's go hike." It's snowing right now, like there's so much snow, and he was like, "Let's go hike up to this cabin and stay the night in it," and blah blah blah. And it's winter here, it's like -degrees at night. And I'm just like, no way, I am not doing that. He was like, come on, just do it. And so I was like, okay, I'll do it. Like, that's a part that I love about him. He pushes me. And I remember while I was hiking, I was like, so tired. I was so tired. I was hiking, and I was just like, I can't do it anymore. But it ended up being an amazing experience. We hiked up this little cabin, this little remote cabin, and we took all of our food and our sleeping bags, and there was a fire, and we stayed there, and we got to ski out, which was amazing. And so yeah, that was the part, is I finally attracted a man into my life that was good for me and wasn't exactly like me, because I noticed, like, before, I attracted a lot of men with image disorders. Things like that. So that's rolled over, and also in my career, right? Successful weight loss school, and this creative, fun, life full program wouldn't exist if it wasn't for that experience, because I mean, I had to go through it, right? So much of what we teach is what we want to learn as coaches. And so my business wouldn't be where it is and as successful as it is, and I wouldn't be changing the lives that I have if it weren't for that experience. And also with my friends, yes, absolutely. There are friends who have dropped off, right?
Right.
Oh, and we evolve, and people are either going to grow with you and stand beside you, or they're not. And so, yeah, I didn't have to, but yeah, for me to keep going, I had to let some people go. Now have friends who 100% support me and love me and look at me and say, you are inspiring me to be a better person. And so it has ripple effects through every facet of my life. Absolutely.
Awesome. So what would you say to somebody who has recognized an area of their life, whether it's their health or something else, but they know that they need to make changes, they need to take responsibility? What kind of tips or guidance or advice would you give them?
Yeah, so this is something that I give my clients, but I think anybody could benefit, is naming that self-sabotaging voice in your head. You often say this.
Yeah, I love this.
Because I think that we get, and we both took Live in the Moment Booty Camp, and something that we learned in that is you have a mind, but you are not your mind. And you don't have to listen to your mind. And so when you actually create a separate identity to that voice, you name it. I mean, in Successful Weight Loss School, we actually draw her, right? Solidify that that's not you. And that is somebody else or something else. It's your ego, your inner critic, whatever you want to call it. But you need to put a name to it, and you need to put an identity to it. Because when you can do that, in those moments when you start stepping back out of the commentary in your mind and you recognize, oh, like in Helga is what we call her in Successful Couple. So, oh, that's Helga speaking. So I don't want to listen. Like, Helga will come out a lot when you are in a room full of beautiful, confident women. And she'll say things like, you suck. You suck. You're never going to be as good as her. You're never going to have those legs. You know, you're never going to have the salary that she has. But she'll also play the other side of the coin is she'll say, oh, your hair is so much better than hers. And oh my God, why is she wearing those shoes, right? So she plays both sides of the coin. And so when you can actually step back and recognize that it's her talking, that gives you power, that gives you responsibility. You have a choice in that moment, right? I can either listen to her or I can listen to who I really am, what my intuition is saying, what is my truth is in that moment. And so when you do that, you start to uncover who you really are. And so, and I know at the beginning when I first tell clients to do this, they're really actually depressed. They're like, oh my God, Helga is here all the time. I mean, you can understand why you feel badly about yourself, why you hate your body, why you as the enemy, why you think that your life sucks. But it's also very empowering because in that moment you can say, I have a choice. I don't need to listen to this. And when you start really exercising this intuition muscle, you start to grow confidence in yourself and you start to see who you really are. I know in that moment, when I was obsessed with my body, with the calories, and with, if I had a perfect body, then I would be worthy, right? That was my thing. Or if I made this certain amount of money, then I would be good enough. Placing value in other things as our self-worth. And so I know in that moment, Helga was totally all up in my head. I mean, 99% of those thoughts were all Helga. So I was given a gift, obviously, in Kauai, where I found me. Right. I found the true Nichole. And then, grappling with it when I came back into my normal habitual lifestyle and really trying to pull that natural me out is you just have to take those small micro steps to being who you truly are. And a big component of that is not listening to Helga, because over time you get stronger. And I tell my clients, you have this bounce back muscle. So there are times when we fall off, right? We're reaching for something and we're doing really well, and then all of a sudden we fall off. And so that gives Helga a lot of fuel. You suck, you should quit, you're never going to reach that income, that body, whatever your Helga says for you. And you need to reach within and pull yourself out of that moment, and you bounce back. And maybe right now your bounce back muscle takes you like a week or 2 weeks. And over time, what I've noticed is my bounce back muscle has gotten strong enough where Helga still comes around. She never goes away. She's always here. She'll never go away. Yeah. But your back muscle will be strong enough to where you can bounce back so much quicker. I can usually get myself out of a dark hole within 24 hours. That's not guaranteed. I've definitely had, 48, 36, but I used to be where Helga would take me down for weeks and weeks. But now I've learned all these great tools and just connecting with myself and connecting to others and outing my feelings and journaling and things like that, fun tools like that to help you get back on board with the path that you really want to go on.
Right. I love that so much.
She's powerful. You have to name her or him, whatever you want to name it.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This has been just amazing. I think you're amazing, and I love everything you have to say. So I want everybody to go to NicholeKellerman.com, and it's successfulweightlosschool.com, and check out what she's up to. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh, well, thank you, and I love everything you're up to, Steph. So together, we're a team.